You know, people say to me, right, okay, you're a Muslim wannabe, you're a Muslim wannabe. You know what I say to them? Why would I want to be a Muslim?
For me, the big question is, if you got hit by a bus, that was for me, it was like, what if I die? Because your Shahada, if Islam is true...
You're going to face God alone.
If Islam is true, I'll be facing God as a non-Muslim.
You know, I'm trying to find the truth in my life. This is...
You found it.
The Catholic, you know, the Catholic and Orthodox, they build one church and they split into. The Catholic upgrade themselves in time, you know,
yes,
they became more fashionable, more show, more blah, blah, blah. No, with the Orthodox, is what you see is what you get. But I didn't fully understand, you know, every time when they try to say, let me ask you, I saw the, let's go to say the Pope, the highest one, yeah, in the Romanian church. When he's speaking to his people, always I guide myself through you know, you lead to example by example. You lead by example. And you see that one in the television, and this made me sick. You see, he's looking like Floyd Mayweather or 50 Cent. It don't have nothing to do with the Christianity. It's full of gold with the massive cross. They say, okay, so you go back in time, you see Jesus Christ die on the cross, blah, 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 whatever. You know, he's using a wood cross. Okay, I can understand that. So you're gonna use a wood cross or whatever, your baston or whatever you use as a Moses, you know. Moses, when she split the water or whatever, use a wood baston. Well, your baston is full of gold with diamonds, sapphire, whatever. You have to sell that one. They say they follow the path of Jesus. They don't follow that one because Jesus being as humble as a person, you know, he walked from a city to another on donkey or on foot, you know. You go in a Maybach, you go in a Mercedes, you go on Ferrari, whatever you have. So this makes me to question them all the time. Plus, what every time I ask them and they don't know what to answer or they refuse to answer, I ask them about the Bible. You may say, well, there is a few questions about it. You say, Bible, with time, you say, you have Book of Enoch, which been took out from the Bible. And every time when I ask them, oh, we don't want to talk about this, or they refuse, you know. And I ask them also, I can ask you who provide the Quran for you. And you can say it's given by Almighty. Who give us the Bible? Well, for us, probably give us 10 Commandments to the Christians come from God, to Moses. But the rest, it's, I don't know, it's by the time of Constantine, and they put all together and they make the Bible, I think. Because all the time when I try to ask them this, they don't want to talk about it. And this makes me to question. They say, well, I want to embrace something. I want to believe in something. Give me the true one, and I'm gonna do it in such a... And every time they out
Islam, my brother, Islam. We wait for that.
I'm gonna make research. I have to.
What research is it to make?
I have to believe.
What you need to believe to be a Muslim, you believe it. What you need to believe to be a Muslim, you already believe.
It's more than that.
It's not. Jordan, I'm just explaining to him what you need to believe to be a Muslim. That the only one worthy of worship is Allah, and that Muhammad is messenger. If you accept that, is that not enough to take a Shahada and start your journey?
That's enough.
So it was enough for him. It was enough for me.
Do you accept that?
Well, I'm still, you know, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Because,
what are you struggling with?
I'm struggling because everything it's coming from everywhere, you know. Now, when I talk with you, it makes sense. When I leave this conversation, you know, it's like it's like something. It's.
I'm not gonna let you leave the conversation.
Yeah. Do you know when I accepted it? I still didn't take my Shahada. Because deep down, I was worried about what people were thinking about me, what my family would say.
Is one of the...
and so inside, you're going to have these things telling you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Even if you accept it, I had this problem, I had this battle. Until one day I thought, you know what, Shahada this is the keys to paradise. This is much bigger than any worries I have in my head, you know, about how my mum thinks, how my girl... I had a fiance, I was going to get married to a Catholic girl.
Well, I'm married with a Catholic mom.
Yeah, so these things are in your head, but in the reality, these aren't the big things that you should be worried about.
Well, I'm worried because, you know, compared, let's go to say, with other country, with the European country, which allows us to have more decisions compared with a woman. Here, it's upside down.
What country are you from?
I'm Romanian. So, you know, married with a Catholic woman here, and I have children. I have my son here, you know, everything. I said, my wife will don't be agree with this one. all gonna be a mess for me. I'm gonna lose everything. So I'm not sure.
Are you sure of this?
Oh yeah, my wife is.
Yeah, because I thought the worst. But my mum was okay with it.
Does your wife really love you?
Yeah, he loves me, but I think he loves more, his faith.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
I think.
Does your wife really love you? That's the reality. Because if you're thinking just because you are going to change your worldview and your religion, this means your wife, all the time you've had together, the kids you've got, and everything like that is what she's going to go. Really?
Because I still.
Does she know you're looking into Islam?
Not yet.
Yeah. But you know what? If Islam is true, it's your opportunity to give it to your wife
Exactly.
and your children.
My wife.
I know
never,
this is a slow process.
Believe me, we're gonna walk on me.
Yeah.
No, I know her. It's a strong will. It's from Philippines. They are.
Oh, she's from Philippines.
Yeah. Oh my God. When it's about their faith,
throw them at you and
believe me. When it's about their faith, never we're gonna make her.
Yeah.
My son, it's Orthodox Zaimi, let's go to say.
Yeah. But you know, when you take your shahada, you don't have to make immediate decisions or anything like that. This can be over
Sooner
time.
or later. Sooner or later, because there is a misconception about Islam. The people they portray the Islam as a bad religion, whatever, and they somehow they wash their brains.
Yeah.
So in the moment when you try to, for example, I give you a single example. I don't want to say. Yesterday I dropped someone. I dropped someone with a car, and they're going to tell you this. I dropped this person in Cricklewood, yeah, and it's a Muslim community. And say, I'm gonna drop you here. You can take 1-6, and you can go in wherever you want. They say, well, you're okay. It's a Muslim. What? It's a Muslim area. Don't drop me here.
Yeah.
See, what do you mean by? So I'm thinking, say,
I have these issues because for me,
my God.
Yeah.
You see, he's more safe.
Yeah.
He's more safe here.
When I tell
so
someone,
it's very hard for me.
Yeah.
It's very because we it's funny. All these families, are very religious people. So when I hear, don't drop me here. I say, well, this is a Muslim. Don't drop me here, please. Why not?
Yeah.
Because they think they associate the word Muslim with the.
I agree. I had the same problem. My friends thought I was going to go to Syria. He's Muslim. Maybe he's going to Syria. But,
it's weird.
Yeah.
They about.
Some of it is racism. I think some people.
100%. 100%.
So
I when you think about, I'm looking like a Muslim. I'm not Muslim.
yeah. I thought you were Muslim.
Yeah. Well, I'm not.
Yeah.
And just 15 minutes ago, I approached a lady which is preaching about the Bible and whatever. And I asked her humbly, listen, ma'am, can I ask you a question? She said, yeah, of course. They say, well, the Bible, you're not supposed to preach. In Timothy 1, they say the woman is not allowed to preach to another man or in a gathering. What do you mean by that? I didn't say that, it's in the Bible. You know what you do? Straight away, he said, I'm a Muslim. Say, yo, Prophet Muhammad, it's a sinner. I said, let me finish.
Yeah.
No, he is. And you point her and say, no, let me finish. He start to shout and say, I'm like that. I say, madam, I want to tell you I'm not a Muslim. Or you point the finger.
I thought you were Muslim, but it's not just the beard. You seem to have good character as well.
Yeah, most of the people, they think I'm Caucasian.
I can imagine having a good meal with you, good laugh.
Are you sticking around today? You want to come for food with us?
Another half an hour. And I'm from 1 o'clock. So I live in Edgeware.
We're taking, you see Ben, the Aussie. We're taking him for food. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
We're going to go, he's coming for food. We had this conversation last time with him. And we're going for food later. But come join us, man.
Well, I have to go. I have to stay another half an hour and I have to go. My wife
Flip-flops are getting thrown at you, innit? That's what it is. But listen,
How you say?
understand one thing. I don't want to say something, but it's really horrible if I say this. But
No, you can say it.
I feel like I want to say it.
I want to say.
No, you can say that. I'm a big guy, I can take,
Okay, your wife gets hit by a bus tomorrow.
Yes.
Pardon?
If your wife gets hit by a bus
I
tomorrow.
was thinking if he got it by that.
Oh no, your wife.
Come closer. Okay.
Your wife gets hit by a bus tomorrow
Obviously,
and dies. Yeah?
Yeah.
Then would you become Muslim?
It's a tricky question, because I have to become a Muslim just because my wife passed.
No. Because you're using your wife as an excuse right now.
Yeah.
I've removed it.
Well, It's not an excuse, it's a reality.
Yeah,
It's
no,
an
right now.
understandable.
You know, because they're all going to have, as excuse,
Right, so she gets hit by a bus tomorrow, she's no longer in the way now. Now what's stopping you?
Even like that, I have to study before they make a step.
Study what?
To be fully prepared and to fully understand, because
It doesn't matter. I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter. Whether you like it or not, it is what it is. People say to me, right,
okay,
you're a Muslim wannabe. You're a Muslim wannabe. You know what I say to them? Why would I want to be a Muslim? Why would I want to restrict what I do? Why would I want to can't do this and can't do that no more? Why would I want to leave my girlfriend? Because I was in a relationship for 6.5 years with 2 daughters. When I accepted Islam, I lost them overnight.
Most of the people, especially in my, let's go to say myself, they think I'm 8 years old.
Yeah.
And now it makes me laugh, because, to jump from 8 years, to Islam, it's like, for them, they straight away were going to protect me as you're crazy. There is something. Plus, I'm going to tell you why. In January.
Let me just continue very quickly. When I became Muslim, my father refused to speak to me for 15 years.
Really?
In that time, my brother committed suicide. I lost my daughters. I don't even know how they're like 23, 24 now, living with their mum. I lost everything overnight. I lost my business. I was a finance advisor. Couldn't deal in interest. I give it up. I didn't need to, but I did. Yeah, I wasn't a flower don't go in a day. I was Jack and the Beanstalk. I was like the magic bean. Yeah, but you don't have to be that way. But the point is this: I didn't do all these things because I wanted to. I did these things because I had to. Because if I'm going to be honest with myself, I'm going to be honest with myself. And if this is the truth, this is the truth. Like it or like it, deal with it.
Yeah, can I make a point about
because
you were saying about, we was obviously talking about your wife and things like that, and for me the big question is, if you got hit by a bus, that was for me, it was like, what if I die? Because your Shahada, if Islam is true,
you're going to face God alone.
If Islam is true, I'll be facing God as a non-Muslim. So the longer I delay it, if my issue is my girlfriend, other issues, these are issues that I'm going to actually let affect my afterlife. This is a big thing. So my advice would be to, if you accept Islam to be true, accept it, and then spend some time. You don't have to tell your wife straight away. Spend some time educating her on Islam, and you will be the example of a Muslim who is good. You'll be the message for her to, inshallah, one day accept Islam, and maybe who knows if she will or not. Allah knows best. But I think you could do it from what I've seen.
Well, let me touch on his story. So what about if he got beat by the bus, right? So me, I was intellectually convinced Islam was true, just as I believe you are, and I was afraid of the same things you were afraid of. Yeah, my heart is saying I'm gonna, if my girlfriend doesn't accept it, I may break up my relationship. I'm gonna lose my daughters. My father's not gonna accept it, whatever. My desires. My desires, they're saying, what? I want to carry on gambling. Okay. What? I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. So my desires, like, whatever. And then they're saying, like, well, what if you did this thing? Where are you going to live? How are you going to work? Because your business is going to be dealt with, and you're going to leave the home. What are you going to do? Where are you going to live? So it's like, so I was intellectually convinced, but my heart and soul was like, my heart and my desires were like, can't do it. Similar. Then I had a car crash. Then I thought I was going to die. Then I realized I'm going to say goodbye to all of these things anyway. Ain't going to matter. I'm going to say goodbye to my daughters, my business, my father, my friends, and all of these people if I die. So I'm thinking, what am I holding on for? What price would it be for me now? That's when I realized that I have to forget this. I just got to do this thing. And then my friend then raised the bar again. He said, look, you can come and stay with me, and my brother will give you a job. And that was it. Damn, I'm taking my Shahada now. So I understand about intellectually being convinced, but your gut, your nafs, your desires.
No, it's not about that. No, I don't have any. I don't smoke. No. What I'm saying, the main reason why I get exactly how you say you have a car accident or whatever. I'm going to tell you what's happening with me in January. I almost passed away. I've been infected with the COVID.
Okay.
I've been in the hospital. I've been in a Barnet hospital. Yeah, my wife been after 2 days going to the hospital. The same. My children, my son is back. It's inside the flat. The relatives of my wife go and collect my son, and they took him in their house. So basically, there is a drama because I've been infected. I almost passed away. Before them pass away, what's happened? I get worse and worse, and probably before then go in the hospital with one day, I say to myself, probably I'm gonna die now. So what I do, I push myself up from the bed, and I didn't say nothing, just this. I say, okay, I'll watch the ceiling. I'm not gonna lie to you because Almighty is there, and I say, okay, give me another chance, and I promise you, I'm gonna be a better. I'm gonna be a better version.
Okay.
I say, So, what made me to question after I go to hospital more than dead than alive. I come back in 5 working days. I come back. My friend, which it's a true believer in God. Well, it's a Christian, but that one you can see him. It's a true believer. I'm more sinner 100 times than him. I swear to the God, even every time it's helping everyone. It's a nice guy. He passed away. And they say, how come? Where is there is a conflict in my mind. I say, I'm a sinner. I'm worse than him 100 times. And this one, it's praying. Go to the church, help others. And he died. I didn't. And it made me to think, well, in that moment, I make a pact. I say, well, please help me now. I want to see my kids, my son growing, and I'm going to be a better version. So I make a pact in that moment. I think.
Yeah.
And even my wife, after 2 days, go in the hospital, more worse than me. So I find down in the hospital, where your wife is in the hospital as well. So I start to question myself, what's going on with my life? And after that, when I come from the hospital, my friend passed away. So this made me to think, well, I see myself before as a strong alpha male. Nobody can kill me. I can do whatever I want. And my second boom is not. So. I'm seeking. I'm trying to find the truth in my life. This is.
You found it.
Okay.
The thing is, though, once you found it, you gotta accept it.
Yeah, I think for me it's just a matter of time. I have to put order in my life. Well, it's not much. You never know. I can cross the street.
But no matter how much time goes by, nothing's going to change. It's still the most important question.
It's not about me. I think I'm watching.
Yeah. Do you know why? When we had this chat, because I could see straight away. For me, you're Muslim already. For me, I feel like you're Muslim. But I was the same as you. I was talking about all these. Well, this might happen. And obviously, it's understandable. You're a family man. You seem like a really good guy. There's something I want to say that hopefully it resonates. Well, we talked about it earlier about you said something beautiful. You're going to have to face God. And they say on that time when we do face God, we're not worried about our wives and I know that's scary to think, but this is us facing God for everything we do.
I know. I'm very concerned about this one.
Yes.
Because I'm a married man. I'm a family man. I'm looking to my family.
I love Romanian people. Lovely. It's family. It's loyalty. It's integrity.
I know that we are stick with our culture. We are stick to our tradition. So it's very hard for us. It's very hard for us because the people they somehow will gonna judge you, especially when because what's happening. The Romania as a state, they have a bad experience. Not because the people they make a mistake when they say, well, we have a bad experience with the Muslim. We don't have bad experience with the Muslim. We have bad experience with the Turkish. Because even in Turkish Empire, they try to take our land, but it's about power. It's not about Islam. Exactly. They want to gain more. Yes. Exactly. Also, the Christianity do the same. Yeah. So in somehow. Every time when you talk about, Islam,
but the beauty is they can't pin this on you, can they? Because you're Romanian. You'll be a Romanian Muslim, and
probably all going to be the first.
No, but like for me, I'm British and I'm Muslim, but you can't tell the difference, can you? You couldn't tell.
No, 100%. That's all going to see you in the street.
I've kept many of my traditions. Obviously, I don't drink. I pray 5 times a day, but I'm still British. People still relate to me, and Muslims still relate to me. So it's not like I've had to, do too many changes.
Well, about this. I'm not drinking, so I drink probably a beer.
That's rare for Romanian, right?
Well, it's true. Well, as a Romanian or West European, we can take the alcohol in a different level. The British people can say, well, we can drink. No, you don't drink. We are drinking. You're just playing around with the beer. We can take the alcohol into a different level. They say, we can drink, you don't drink. When you say about drinking, you say about drinking, you drink probably 2 liters or 3 liters of vodka in one go. That one we're gonna, how many liters of vodka you drink? 5. Make you a man. No, that one don't make you a man. But again, it's a conflict in my head.
But like I said to you, because if you go away from here thinking other things and stuff like that, nothing's going to change, is it? It's still, you have to face God, and to be honest, if you don't do it now, who knows what's going to happen the next day.
Just because I came in a bit late, so do you actually believe that Muhammad was a messenger of God? Do you believe he was a messenger of God?
I have to study more.
No. Stop. I have to.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Yes, he does. Right? Because he doesn't believe he was lying, he doesn't believe he was crazy, nor does he believe he was deceived.
Yeah.
So yes, he does.
But there's that thing of, I'm going to try and find where he isn't.
Yeah, I agree you need to study more. Once you take your Shahada, and you study for the rest of your life.
Honestly,